Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. I want to start by talking about something that has been gaining momentum in our fast-paced world, the slow living movement. In the words of Karl Honoré, a prominent advocate of this movement, in an age of speed, I began to think, nothing could be more invigorating than going slow. In an age of distraction, nothing can feel more luxurious than paying attention. We find ourselves caught up in a whirlwind of busyness, rushing from one task to the next, living in a constant state of urgency. The slow living movement at its core is a gentle rebellion against this cultural whirlwind. It's about embracing a deliberate and mindful approach to life, allowing ourselves the time and space to savor each moment, to connect deeply with ourselves and others. I'm reminded of a story shared by one of my research participants. She told me about a moment when she decided to intentionally slow down. She said, "I used to think that being busy meant being important. It took me a while to realize that the people I admired, the ones truly making a difference, were the ones who embraced a more intentional, slower pace of life." This resonates deeply with the idea that the most meaningful moments often occur when we slow down enough to notice them. In our hyper-connected world, there's immense power in deliberately choosing to disconnect from the noise and chaos, allowing ourselves the time to reflect, recharge, and truly engage with the present. As I often say, vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Slow living, in a way, is a form of vulnerability. It requires us to confront the discomfort of stepping off the treadmill of constant activity and facing the raw authenticity of our lives. In a society that often values speed and productivity, embracing slow living is an act of courage. It's a conscious decision to prioritize quality over quantity, depth over superficiality, and connection over constant distraction. Now that we've established the essence of the slow living movement, let's delve into its core principles. Principles that invite us to reshape our relationship with time, productivity, and ultimately, our own lives. The principle of presence. Brené Brown often talks about the power of vulnerability and the importance of being present in our own lives. In the context of slow living, being present is a foundational principle. It's about fully immersing ourselves in the current moment, letting go of the past and future, and embracing the now. As I reflect on this principle, I'm reminded of a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh, a renowned mindfulness teacher. "Drink your tea slowly and reverently, as if it is the axis on which the world Earth revolves, slowly, evenly, without rushing toward the future." It's a beautiful reminder that even the simple act of drinking tea can become a sacred, mindful practice. The principle of mindful action. Slow living isn't about doing everything at a snail's pace. It's about infusing mindfulness into our actions. Each task, no matter how small, becomes an opportunity for presence and intention. When we rush through life, we miss the subtleties, the nuances that make each experience unique. I'm reminded of a story shared by a friend who decided to practice mindful eating. She described how, by slowing down and truly savoring each bite, she discovered a depth of flavor and satisfaction that had eluded her during her usual rushed meals. It's a powerful metaphor for how slowing down in any aspect of life can lead to a richer, more fulfilling experience. The principle of intentional living. In the words of the great poet Mary Oliver, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" The principle of intentional living challenges us to answer this question deliberately. It's about aligning our actions with our values, making choices that reflect our true priorities. I often think about a moment in my own life when I realized the importance of intentional living. I was caught up in the hustle, constantly striving for external markers of success. It wasn't until I intentionally slowed down, examined my values, and aligned my actions accordingly that I found a truer sense of fulfillment. These principles aren't a rigid set of rules. They're guideposts, reminding us to approach life with mindfulness and purpose. As we explore these principles, let's consider how they can be woven into the fabric of our daily lives, creating a tapestry of meaning and connection that surpasses the hurried pace of our modern world. Now that we've embraced the core principles of slow living, let's explore the profound benefits that unfold when we weave these principles into the fabric of our lives. Enhanced well-being research consistently shows that a slower pace of life is directly linked to improved mental and physical well-being. When we allow ourselves the time and space to savor life's moments, stress levels decrease, and a sense of calm and contentment takes root. Slow living becomes a powerful antidote to the frenetic pace that often leads to burnout and exhaustion. As the poet Rumi wisely said, "The quieter you become, the more you can hear." In the stillness of slow living, we discover the wisdom of our own thoughts, the whispers of our hearts, and the subtle beauty that surrounds us. Deeper connections. One of the most beautiful aspects of slow living is its ability to foster deeper connections with ourselves and others. In a world that often values quantity over quality, slowing down allows us to invest in the richness of our relationships. It's about putting down our devices, making eye contact, and truly listening, not just hearing, but understanding. I'm reminded of a conversation I had with a woman who decided to implement a technology-free hour every evening with her family. In that hour, they engaged in meaningful conversations, played games, and cultivated a sense of togetherness that had been elusive in their fast-paced lives. Slow living in this context becomes a catalyst for genuine human connection. Increased creativity and innovation. Contrary to the belief that speed fuels innovation, the practice of slowing down has been shown to enhance creativity. When we step back and give our minds the space to wander, we tap into the wellspring of imagination. Some of the most groundbreaking ideas often emerge during moments of quiet reflection. Consider the story of a renowned artist who credited his most innovative creations to the deliberate pauses he took in his creative process. Slow living allows us to access the depth of our creativity, unlocking new perspectives and ideas that can transform not only our personal lives, but also the world around us. Greater mindfulness and gratitude. Mindfulness and gratitude are like the pillars of slow living, supporting us in cultivating a deeper appreciation for the present moment. When we slow down, we become more attuned to the details, the textures of life that often go unnoticed in the rush. Gratitude, in particular, has a transformative power. As we intentionally reflect on the blessings in our lives, no matter how small, we shift our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. In the words of Melody Beattie, gratitude turns what we have into enough. Slow living invites us to savor the richness of our lives and appreciate the beauty that surrounds us. In essence, the benefits of slow living extend far beyond the individual. They ripple through our relationships, our work, and our communities, creating a tapestry of well-being, connection, and creativity. As we embrace these benefits, let us remember that slow living is not a destination. It's a journey toward a more intentional, fulfilling, and meaningful life. In closing, let me leave you with this. Slow living is not a rejection of progress, but a recalibration of our relationship with time and a redefinition of what truly matters. It's an invitation to live a life aligned with our values, to savor the moments that make life extraordinary, and to build connections that withstand the test of time. As we navigate the demands of our fast-paced world, let's remember the words of Anne Morrow Lindbergh. It is not the life that is important. It is the courage, the endurance, the faith, and the love with which we meet it. Slow living is an expression of that courage, a testament to our endurance, a manifestation of faith in the beauty of the present moment, and an acknowledgement of the transformative power of love. In the tapestry of our lives, each intentional pause, each moment of mindful action, and each choice aligned with our deepest values weaves a thread that contributes to a richer, more meaningful existence. So, let us embrace the principles of slow living with open hearts and curious minds, allowing them to guide us toward a life that is not just lived, but truly experienced. May we find the courage to slow down, the wisdom to be present, and the grace to live with intention. And as we embark on this journey, may we discover the immense beauty that unfolds when we choose to live slowly in a fast-paced world. Thank you, and may your lives be filled with the richness that comes from embracing the art of slow living.